Welcome everyone to my first evening training of 4 Steps to Success. Got Kenneth and Sam on board to help me walk this evening out. How you doing, Kenneth and Sam, today? I hope you guys had a great day. It's 7 o'clock here in the United States of Ohio.
Hi, Deborah and Sam.
Hey.
Hey.
Kenneth, sounding good.
Midnight here.
my cam keeps blinking in and out. I don't know why. It shows me, and then sometimes it takes the image out and just has a black box there. So you may be getting that on your side too. Not sure.
I believe that's when we talk.
It's going off.
Huh?
Your image minimizes down to the bottom of the screen, and the whole screen goes black for a second.
Yeah, that's well, even when I got mine up, sometimes my camo will go away and I'll just see a black box there. But you know, that's technology. It does what it does. And we just have to muddle through it. There's nothing perfect in this world, so with that said, you know, I'll deal with what comes. We're here, we're live, we're on air. And what I wanted to do was start out by introducing myself. My name is Deborah Barton Burton. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, here in the United States. And those of you that know me know I've been online for, I came back in 2005 from a hiatus from the internet. I originally started on the internet in '91. Had a very lucrative business online. Was shipping globally, and T-shirts, baseball caps, charms, and things like that. That was in the hip hop industry. And then I had a mishap with a famous designer. And he challenged copyright of his logo, and I was then blacklisted on the internet for selling one of his flags. Well, I purchased a T-shirt that had a replication of his logo on the T-shirt. It was a WWJD T-shirt. So that kind of, after doing very well, got me blacklisted within the search engines, and Google wasn't around then. But what we did have blacklisted me, and I was getting thousands of people daily coming to my site, and then all of a sudden, boom, the bottom fell out, and I had nothing. I tried the legal way, and it was not just me that they were going after, but several other people. A guy in Tennessee, he won his case. I don't know how he financially afforded to go up against this mega designer, but I didn't have. I wasn't willing to waste money challenging the situation, so I just did a cease and desist as their letter requested. What was so funny about it, the only person that I only sold one of those T-shirts, and the one T-shirt I sold was to them. So it was like, this is crazy. I haven't made any money out of the T-shirt anyway. And I didn't design it. I didn't make it. I bought it in New York in the garment district, brought it home to Ohio, took pictures of it and put it on my website, and boom, next thing I know, I was in a legality of a possible lawsuit. So I just walked away. I went back to my concession business, which I had been running all along anyway, and finished out my 23 years in that business. I've run several businesses, and then when I came back in 2005, the internet changed drastically. It wasn't what it was in '91 to '99, and it was a difference for me to figure out how to get started. I've been in all kind of businesses online, and the part that I was really happy in doing online was researching personal growth and learning the things that I needed to learn, the things I didn't know. Not so much in business, but personally for me. In 2005, I was forced back to the internet because I had a health issue that had taken me away from my offline business that was very viable because I had lost body strength, muscle strength, and from doing all the wrong things. So coming up to speed in 2007, after my father died, who I was his caregiver for a while, I decided to really take a look at what it was I like to do online. And I got involved in the hype industry. And I was very successful as far as I was concerned in doing the programs that I was doing. What is so funny, one of the programs that paid me an extremely well income, Kenneth, that's how I met him, was through that program. He was a friend of another friend of mine, Scott Crawley, and they introduced me to Just Been Paid. For those of you that remember Just Been Paid, it's something else now, and it's horrible. But for about 3 to 4 years, I had a good ride on that. Then I, along with some other things, after it went belly up, I got involved with some other hypes. They were the one thing I didn't like about them. The other ones were not sustainable. They would last maybe 90 to 100, if that long, and then they bottom fall out. Then I got involved with HRS, and I became the trainer of HRS because of my experience with Just Been Paid. I learned very well from Carl Pearson, who was the trainer and co-founder of Just Been Paid. He taught me very well, and he taught me about there's two ways to make money. You can either spend your money or you can spend somebody else's money. And I never lost that. Never lost that, because I was taught in business the method of OPM when I was going to college for business administration, and there's such a thing as the angel network and crowdfunding, and those are the things that are going on now, of using other people's money to make you financially able to succeed in your business. But there was a lot of things that wasn't taught. The old way worked when it worked, but now we have a whole new way of doing things. And most people are quick to say, I don't know how to recruit. If you're involved in an MLM, finding the people you want to be connected to you in your business, it's a two-way street where you're looking for people that are wanting to be in business, and then you want to be particular about the big people that come on board to be in your business, because you don't want that revolving door that constantly dropping off and having to go pick up new people and things like that. I personally like my money making me money. I personally don't like asking people to spend their money for something that I'm not sure if they're going to succeed at it, especially if they're not a recruiter. But it takes, I don't care what you do, it takes people to grow a business, whether they be your customer or they be your partner in growing it. So I thought about this long and hard, and I said, now wait a minute. Where are we right now, and how can I help other people, and what do they need? We all need cash flow. Before I even think about the idea of growing a business, we need to create cash flow. We need cash flow coming into our lives to finance the things that we really want to build. So I started to focus on that, and I said, okay, one program that I've been very successful with, it's not easy because people don't get the concept of it. So I'm here today to help you get the concept of it. And then I want to show you how using Google Plus can allow you to create a free contact manager. A contact manager is a place that you receive someone's name, their email, their phone number, maybe their address, and other notes that you make about them through your conversation. I happened to stumble on this the other day. I was talking with a girl on Facebook, and I said, well, I'm going to do less than Facebook. Why don't we connect in Google Plus? And in connecting with her in Google Plus, and this is when I was in that moment, I was very conscious. I can say this, I can't say whether this was there before that day, but it was there that day, and it's still there now. And Google Plus has been making some major changes that it's really wanting to be the individuals everything to. Okay, like they're offering this free hangout on air that can stream through YouTube, and along with some other apps, I'm actually streaming live right now in Facebook as well. Also on my blog, and also on other pages that my partners have set up the embed code on their blog, their pages, marketing pages that me and Sam offer to advertise through our hangouts. When we send traffic to those pages, they see the hangout. So there's a way to get yourself in front of multiple places, multiple eyes, and get your message out from what we've learned. Coming back to the whole thing of struggling, when I use the word struggling, I'm saying, are you wondering how to finance your business? And then I say, then the title of my Hangout on Air tonight is how to build relationships that last. Now, what I've come to learn is this. Lasting relationships require you to know more about the person that you're trying to build the relationship with. And you can't do that if you're always doing the talking. You have to learn how to ask questions. And I had been listening to some audios that Greg Lohr had shared with me, and I said, oh my God, I got to do a hangout about this. One of the key things that I was taught was you do less talking when you're trying to build your relationship with someone, and let them do most talking. And what I mean by that is this. Shake off the idea that you are the important one in the conversation. People love to talk about themselves, and you, as the business person or the person that wants to help someone else, have to be conscious of when can you step in and show them what you can do for them. Everybody wants to know what's in it for me. Those are the key components to people moving forward in anything. Well, what's in it for me? And you can't really share that with somebody if you don't know, if you're not listening to what their needs are. Now, I lead with a very good program. It's a feeder program. It's a one-hitter, and when I say one-hitter, you can only hit a person once. It costs zero, absolutely nothing. All they have to do is do it. But I've also come across a stumbling block that there's a mindset about credit cards, that credit cards create debt, and that's true. I'm not against that. I'm not saying credit cards don't. But this one credit card is so unique. It allows you to make money and manage your money at the same time. But before I get into the credit card, I want to show you this. Just imagine every relationship that you build, you could give that person $20. And when they receive their $20, you got your $20. I've done this with hundreds of people. I love it. Um, where I was dropping the ball was, where do I take them after I give them their free 20? And that's when I realized I was not really building relationships. I was just giving away $20 bills. So I came back to the drawing board and said, okay, how can I build relationships with someone that now that they've gotten their 20, I've got to take them to the next level. And what she recommends is getting data. And to get data, you have to ask questions. It's like when you first meet someone, you're going to get their name. And I have a program called Send Out Cards. You want to give people as much information as you can. So in the process of listening to them and what they are already doing, and let's say you find someone that's in an MLM, and they, of course they want to tell you all about their MLM. You need to be respectful of letting them talk about their MLM and come up with a method of saying, that sounds absolutely awesome, but it's not for me. What I'd like to do is help you grow your business. Now you need to write that down. You need to be able to say to someone else, how can I help you grow your business? And let them elaborate. A lot of times they don't even know. It throws them off when you ask that question. How can I help you grow your business? And, they're going to come up with some way of saying, well, you should join my business. And all you have to do is say, it sounds absolutely awesome, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'm here to help you grow your business. Help you help you. And what way do you think I could do that? Now, that's going to put a stumbling block there for anybody that comes across with this question. And then you can go into, well, didn't you say you had an auto ship on that business? Especially if they're in a product company, you need to find out, well, how much is your auto ship every month? And how would you like to know how to get it for free? Now I think somebody would be interested. You say you pay $100 a month for your auto ship. Well, that's only 5 people a month that you could be getting your auto ship for free. And they're going to be like, how? That comes back to the feeder program. Or let's say they have a monthly subscription to, that maybe they don't have an auto ship, but they have a monthly subscription to whatever it is that they're involved in, and it's coming straight out of pocket. And you ask them, things like, well, do you recruit for this business? And they're going to say, yeah. Well, how would you like to help them get started in your business without spending any money? And people are going to be like, how? How do you do that? Because it takes money to make money. And every program out there is asking for anywhere from $25 to $500 to get started. Wouldn't it be absolutely awesome if you could show them a way to start getting money, cash flow money? This is liquid. This is this money coming in, liquid money. Earmarked for nothing. It's a gift to you, a gift to them, and all you got to do is just do it. If a person is already recruiting for their business, and they can show a person that says, well, I just don't have the money right now, a way to get the money right in their household. Now, a lot of us say, I don't bother my family and friends. This is a little different. This is a little different. In fact, I don't know if I can do it in Google Plus or not. Let me well, before I go to that, I'm gonna say this. The series of questions that you need to ask, and I was trying to bring those up before I went live, is, hold on a minute. I got it. I think I left it in Skype. Hold on. It's a series of questions that you can go through to get to the point that you want to get to of getting information about the prospect you're seeking. And the other key thing is to have that information in a contact manager. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me go back to where he gave it to me. I hope it's in this one. You know what? These days I've had some challenges with my health, and from time to time I get brain fog. Brain fog is where you can't think clear, and it kind of handicaps you on what you do. I put the questions on a notepad, and I can't remember where I saved the notepad. That's why I was struggling to find it before we went live, so I wouldn't have to do this on the show. But I'm going to come across it in just a minute. Because the questions, I wanted to share these questions with you. Here we go. I'm coming up on it. Okay. One of the things that this person teaches you is in your mindset. When you are actually connecting with someone as a prospect, your attitude has to be that you are running or you are building a multi-million-dollar empire. When you look at what you do as something as significant as that, you'll have a different posture, you'll have a different attitude, and you will radiate a new energy that most people that are not there, that people that are there are composed of. Just imagine in your mind, how different would you be if tomorrow you woke up and you all of a sudden won the lottery? Who would you be in that moment compared to right now? Just imagine who you would be as far as your energy, your thoughts. You would be so excited. And you would feel completely different than you do right now. You wouldn't feel weighted down and stressed, because now all of a sudden you got all this money and you can go do whatever you want to do. That is the energy that you must compose your body of when you are sharing what you do with other people. You are no different than a CEO or an IBM executive. And your product development has to reflect that. So when you're sharing your opportunity or your business with another person, it's the energy level that you must get to before you go down that path. And then you have to have the right questions to show them what's in it for them. Let's see. The other thing that you got to be conscious of is the fact that you're looking for people with desire. Okay? A desire to change their present situation into something better. You're not looking for people with excuses, and you're definitely not looking for whiners. If you ask someone, can I give you a $20 bill? And they whine about the fact that they must go fill out a form on a website to get the $20 bill. You don't want to be bothered with that person, because that person really don't want a $20 bill. And just now, I know you're thinking a $20 bill, that ain't nothing, but it does calculate into much when you look at it the way I'm saying, and it's all free money. You're looking for people who want to do extraordinary things with their life. And I'm going to tell you why. Because a person that is building a lifestyle knows what it takes to be in baby steps to build on something, to have what it is that they want. And it's definitely going to come later. Because if they had all the answers, you know, before now, they'd already be there. You want someone that is coachable and trainable. And when you're looking to help someone help themselves that are coachable and trainable, they are in tune or conscious of you being genuinely there for them if you are coming through with the right information. You're also looking for people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired of being tired. You're tired of people that's tired of going to the grocery store and finding the price of goods gone up and up, but their money is getting lower and lower. They just don't have enough cash flow. Or buying things that they normally wouldn't buy to eat. If they had more money, they would buy better foods or live in a better house or things like that. You're looking for people that are looking for an opportunity to improve their lives. And how do you find them? Through the questions. Through the questions. Everyone loves to talk about their opportunity, talk about themselves, but if they're struggling in the opportunity they already got, you signing up in their opportunity is not going to be the answer to what they need to have cash flow. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about cash flow to help them have coming directly to them to grow their business. And you need to be in a giving mode. You are not a salesperson. You're a person that wants to help someone else. And when you say, I'm going to give you, I want to give you $20 as a gift, and they reject a gift. You know, they say what you give is what you get. But you also have to be open to receive. And it amazes me how many people say, I don't want it, without even gathering all the information as to how it can bless them with more. I have the problem right here in my own house. My 18-year-old, I waited till she turned 18 because you have to be 18 to do this. She was procrastinating and very negative about this program. And when she turned 18, I said, Taylor, I want you to go and sign up for your card. And she's like, oh, Mom, I don't want to do that. You know, she had all these excuses. And I'm like, okay. And then I signed up 2 of her friends. And they got their money. And I got mine. And one of her friends was saying, you know, this is going to be so easy for me to do. All I got to do is just ask the person, I'm giving away 20s. Do you want one? Or who do you know want a $20 bill? And when she seen how excited one of her friends got about it, and he's getting money left and right now because the very people that she should have been tapping into, he's doing it, and she's starting to get angry now over it because she didn't take it seriously. And they're both talking about getting apartments of their own, and he's figured out that if I just sign up one person a day, I got my rent for the month. And I tried to tell her that. If you're struggling to pay your bills, if you're struggling to have the money to keep your business afloat, get that auto ship, or pay your subscriptions, or whatever it takes, this opportunity can do nothing but help you. You're going to already be prospecting people anyway. And the only thing you need to be looking for is the fact that a person is not making enough money to cover what it takes to be in that business, and you show them how they, by just dividing the total amount by 20, will tell you how many people you need to sign up every 30 days. I mean, not sign up, but refer. I meant refer every 30 days to get the money that they need to get to pay what they need to pay. I'm still looking for the questions. I'm in the section where they all, okay. You ask questions like this, and I highly suggest you get a piece of paper and a pencil and write this stuff down. I'm going to elaborate on some of this stuff in a minute, and then we're going to go into the contact manager of Google Plus, and then I'm going to play the video for you so you can have a clear understanding why I'm talking about this $20 gift program. It's not a program. It's a referral. And some of you may have already heard me or seen me post on my statuses this information, but I've come to the conclusion that when you have free money, and all it takes is to help a person understand it's free money. If you sign up one person a day and they complete the process of activating and loading, you get your 20. That's $20 a day. That's $600 a month. That pays somebody's car note. Or let's say you need to pay your house note, which is $1,200 a month. If all you had to do was find 2 people and bless them with $20 a gift, $20 each, and show them how they can use this system to support their business or their personal life. See, I don't like using the word business because everybody don't want to be in business. But everybody wants cash flow. But you have to ask questions to get to the point of whether they're ready for that gift. You ask questions like, where are you from? Are they from? And you put that information into your contact manager. In fact, let me bring the contact manager up. I want you to see it. Let me bring it up. I'm on Google Plus now. Let me bring up. Okay. Let me go into my circles. Let me desktop share, and I'm going to go into my circles, and I'm going to show you how. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. I'm screen sharing. Okay. Now let me bring someone that is in my circle so I can. When your circles, okay. When you connect with someone, I can use myself. When you connect with someone in the picture inside of Google Plus, you'll see their data, and then you can scroll down to, well, first of all, you have to be about on this tab that says About, okay? And they'll have their taglines and introductory and bragging rights and all that in there if they filled out their profile. But at the very bottom of their profile that is only for your viewing, when you make the connection, this is what you'll see. At the very bottom here, it says add your own contact details about that person. And then what you can do is, as you're talking to somebody, you can be in this section of the contact manager. And when you ask the person, you know what, have you got another email? Because this is how I do math. I say, you know, I love sending out birthday cards. I'm in a program called Send Out Cards, and I love sending cards, birthday cards to people. Can I get your address and add you to my Send Out Cards contact list? And then they say, sure, you know, who's going to turn down a birthday card? And then all you do is just put in their data as they tell it to you. Okay? Um, or let's say that person's talking to you about they like to vacation, they got a vacation home or something. You can add another address where they like to receive mail. You can ask them, I got your Google Plus contact. Is there any other email that you'd like to look at? To get your email. Do you have another email that I could send? I could stay in correspondence with you that you'd like to look at more than Google Plus. If they say, yeah, this is such and such and such and such, that's where you can write that in. And then, in the conversating with them, you can say, everybody got the name John. Have you ever had a nickname a favorite nickname that you like? They'll tell you that. People love to talk about themselves. And when you say, I'm in that send out card thing, now that I got your address, is there, when's your birthday? What sign are you? And they say, Cancer. And they say, well, when's your birthday? Cancer. That's cool. When's your birthday? And they say, oh, July 16th. Really? July 16th? What year? 1954? Oh, okay. While you're talking to them, you can be putting this in your contact manager. If they say they have children, you can add, 2 kids. 1 boy, married. This is all stuff, and the reason why you want to have this information, so whenever you're connecting back with that person, you know exactly where to refresh your mind about them and who they are, what they have, and what they do. One of the other things that you can use as a nickname is the type of business that they're in. If they say, oh, I'm in Organogo. If you don't want to get a nickname from them. But the more data you can get about that person, the more you're going to make them feel like you are truly interested in them and who they are, what they do, and that you're here to connect with them. And you're gonna feel like you want to talk about you. You're gonna be motivated to talk about you. But this is where you got to discipline yourself not to do that. Please don't do that. And I'm going to tell you why. You drop the ball and you lose them every time. People love to talk about themselves. And using this contact manager, you do not want to try to remember things about them. You want to put it into a place that you can make reference to, so the next time you're talking to them, you can say, hey, how's your kids doing? How's your son Gary doing? Or how's your daughter such and such doing? That makes people feel important. When you remember who they are, what they're doing, and how their life. This person has 2 kids or 3 kids, and you can, when you say a boy, and then you can write their name, Tom, and then 1 boy, Gary, and be in a way that you can abbreviate. They're married. Their wife's name is Sue. You see what I'm saying? Ask it in a way that you can put abbreviations. You can go back and clean this up later. That you can take notes about the person. And it's going to make them feel better the next time you follow up with them. And you're going to follow up with them because if you're talking to that person about helping them, you want to follow up and know how well they're doing from the last time you talked. Is there anything that you can help them with right now? Always be open to find out from a person how you can help them help themselves. When you plant seed in someone else's life, it will grow in yours. And that's really all you're doing, is gathering information to remember as much as you can about the other individual. So when you come back, you got an open conversation, that you got your notes here to remember about them, and you don't have to be thinking, okay, what was our conversation before? In the no section, you can put all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? I can take this out because I'm not in Organo Gold anymore. And that is my real address. And I am Cancer, 1954. Actually have 3 children still living. 1 son and 2 girls. And that's not their names. Tom and Gary is not their names. But it's, I hope I'm making sense to what I'm saying here as to why you want to build a relationship by making we go through life so fast nowadays, trying to remember stuff off the top of your head, and you might be young enough to do that, but as you get older, it gets old. And if you just try 10 people a day, 10 new relationships a day, try coming back a week later and see if you remember that much information about the individual, that you can have a fluid conversation with them. You can just pick up the phone by remembering that somebody's son plays football. You can call and say, hey, how your son doing? I remember you telling me that he had a game Saturday. How did the game go? That opens the door to a conversation between the two of you that is not in a selling mode. And it makes that person feel like you genuinely care about them. And you will, as you begin to grow with them, that could be a lifelong friend. They might become your business partner. They might become, someone you vacation with. You never know where a relationship's going to go. But you need to start them out in a way that you remember as much as you can about the other individual. Ask questions. Ask questions. You want to ask questions like how long they've been where they live, because people like to tell you about what they got and where. You can say, well, where are you from? How long you been there? Oh wow, that sounds fascinating. You moved there from where? If they say, oh, I moved here 5 years ago, then you want to find out where did you move from. You want to see how connected you two are by the information they give you. They might have moved from someplace close to where you live. You want to ask the question of what do they do for a living? That's where you're getting into what MLM. So if you see they are in an MLM, you can turn that question around to, I see you're in such and such a business. How's that working out for you? And lead into, how much is your monthly auto ship in that business? I tried product companies and it just didn't work for me. And I'm just wondering how well it's working for you. That lets you know if they're open to another opportunity. And then ask them, what do they like about it? What made them join that company? And in their career or running that business, where do they see themselves in it? Do they see themselves in it forever, or do they see themselves maxing out the comp and moving on to something else because they've already reached residual? It's things like that that you say that will make their creativity start spinning. It's like a wheel. You're the fuel for the wheel in their head, and you start giving them creative thoughts to do more of what they want to do for themselves. You might even get the creative wheel going saying, I really don't know why I joined this business. I'm struggling in it and it's costing me money and then you might get that kind of information. Close those. I have no idea, but I'm live. And you need to close these.
I can't.
My daughter just walked through the house naked. Sorry, guys. Let's see. What do they like? And then find out what a person likes to do for fun. You both might have some interest that will lead you into, in the future, taking a vacation together. Your family and their family maybe can do an all-inclusive in the future. Those are things that I'm setting up for me, finding people that are empty nesters, they're single, and like to travel. So at some point in 2015, I've got enough friends that'll jump on board for a nice vacation as a group. And I've showed them how to pay for it just by the opportunity of referring people and giving money away. That's one of my goals I have on my list. Now, that's what I want to do. You have to start to think about how you can use that feeder program for you and helping the people that you connect to. But I wanted to get some of this information out, asking people what are their goals, what are their dreams, and how long do they think it's going to take with what they're already doing to get to those dreams and those goals, and what are they doing personally to change themselves to get to those goals and dreams. Are they just doing the same thing that they've always done? Because the rule for that is you can't keep doing the same thing that you've always done and expect new outcome. It doesn't happen like that. Find out what community things they do and what they like to do. Maybe they like to bowl or go golfing, and find out what interests they have that you guys can talk about that will bring more creativity to the conversation. Now you're not a salesman pitching a deal. You're really truly connecting with somebody because you're learning all you can about them, and you're allowing them to tell you about themselves. You're trying to find out what it is about this person that gets this person excited. That's what you're really trying to do. What excites that person? What would, ask them the question, hey, let me ask you a funny question. If you won the lottery tomorrow, okay, let's say $1 million, magically you just woke up and your numbers failed. What would you do different than what you're doing right now, and why? And the key thing that I'm learning too, and I just learned this by reading the book The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. When you ask the person what it is that they like, and then you come back with why do you like it like that? It makes a person re-examine themselves. Okay, and are they really doing what they want to do, or are going after what they want, or are they still living in the molded shape and programming of someone else? All of us had those residual from past lives that are still vibrating in our present lives. Like, let's say your father loved sports and he wanted you to go into sports, but you didn't like sports. But he pushed you in that manner, so now you find yourself still interested in sports and you don't know why. And when I say still interested, I mean you don't really care for sports, but you still involve yourself with the sports activities of watching games and things like that. And that's really not your cup of tea. Or golfing or fishing or whatever it may be, if you were programmed or influenced to go down that path and that's really not your passion, you just do it because it's been taught to you, you're not a happy camper in the process, I can guarantee you. And I wish I knew this information years ago, because I definitely, at around 32, is when I began to re-examine why I was living my life like I was living it, why I believe what I believe, but nobody gave me the mechanics. I didn't have, per se, the information, the wisdom, how to put my focus. Yeah, I put the flag up. No, I'm not doing this anymore. And I actually realized that I was living under my mother's thought or beliefs for her life, and then she imposed it on mine. My mother was an individual that lived through books, but she never really went anywhere. She could go many places in her mind, but she never really journeyed very many places, and I was just the opposite. I love traveling. Um, I'm unable to do it as much as I used to now, but I want to get back to it. And I do believe in 2015 I will. But it was the choices of travel. You know, she would have never got on a plane. I loved flying. Uh, she never would have got on a cruise ship. We have some relatives that have one of the largest boats on the Ohio River, and I remember taking her down to my cousin's boat one day, and all he did was wanted to turn the boat around at the dock, and it scared the mess out of him. And I love cruising, just certain times of the year, not always. Like, you couldn't get me to go on one right now because the water's too turbulent. But I know when to get on one, when to experience it. And she does the things. But in her mind, she took cruises. She flew all over the world because she read. She was an avid reader. And she was one of those people that could create her life right where she was through her reading books. I sometimes can do that through very deep documentaries. So it's the gift of the reception of things that will. But I don't want to just dream about it. I want to do it. And she had a desire to do it, but she wasn't going to venture out too far. When your motive is all about you, that is short-term thinking. That's the other thing that you need to realize is when you talk all the time about you, what you did, how you do it. Instead of, if you're building a relationship, you need to know as much as you can about the other person. Now, I'm a talker. I'm going to admit that up front. I am a talker. And I have to change this about myself by practicing my questions. So, and as I begin to do more of it, it actually starts to flow naturally for me. And the key component to that is knowing why. Knowing why you need to know how to be quiet and listen. You seek to understand where the other person is, why they say what they say, and then your creativity will begin. You come across things. Let's say the person's struggling with something that's on their computer. You might have crossed a path in the past that you can guide them to fix that problem. That happens to me all the time. Just by being there to help them solve a problem will bring it easier for the relationship to grow by doing that. Just be of service to others, I'm telling you. Ask questions. Learn how to be a good listener and problem solve other people's problems. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You can problem solve right out of YouTube. YouTube is my best friend. Let me see if I'm still desktop sharing. YouTube is my best friend. Oh, my God. Love YouTube. Because whatever you're looking for, it's on YouTube. It is definitely on YouTube. You can, if you know what you're looking for, just go put it in a search engine. A whole host of videos will come up and just start, me and Scott Crowley use that as a means in building things, whether it be websites or using tools or pointing people to information. I tell people all the time, just go to YouTube. Whatever you're looking for is in YouTube. So you can become an expert at finding information for other people, because everybody don't even realize that that's there in YouTube for them. They don't realize that YouTube is there. So many people have put up videos of their knowledge that you definitely can find what you're looking for when you want to find it. Learn how to be one of those people that people come to for information. That's very, very powerful. And people will connect to what you do because they want to be connected to you, because you are that type of person. And you can use that as a tool, YouTube as a tool, that when somebody comes and asks you a question, you can point them in the direction of YouTube by just going there while you're talking to them, do a search, and then share the link with them and say, hey, I think this is what you're looking for. They will be so happy you solved that problem for them, because we have also gotten into a very lackadaisical mode, and people are going to other people to get their problem solved. We are not a society of problem-solving, thinking people. And the ones that are the ones that are viable to the many. I'm going to see if we got any questions. We have some listeners. If we've got any questions. No questions have came through or comments. Sam or Ken, would either one of y'all like to share some information in regard to what I've been talking about as far as how to build relationships?
Go ahead, Ken.
Hi there, everybody. This is Kenneth in Aberdeen. Basically, most of what Deborah has covered is quite similar to the approach. I think I've found that my most successful methods of introducing people to a business was using a method of paying it forward and offering to make that payment on behalf of the person you were making the approach to. But before I would be doing that, I would be certainly asking the person about themselves, what their circumstances were, just to get to know that person, so that you weren't sort of jumping in and trying to force them down a route that they were uncomfortable with, possibly. Certainly in terms of making any major financial commitment, that people need to feel 100% comfortable from the outset before they go ahead with anything.
Now, Kenneth, in paying it forward, I know we started out in that paying it forward situation when I came into Just Been Paid. When you were prospecting people that you were going to spend your money on to get them to opt into the opportunity, and were there methods that you used to see if they were going to follow through and learn the program and work it, or how did you come across the information you needed to put your money out front?
I guess it was pretty much a case of I was replicating the approach from the person who sponsored me into the business, and I pretty much followed his methodology in terms of showing the person how to sign up, taking them to the sign up page, allowing them to see the business. In most cases, I think I probably signed up directly around about 15 people into the business, and then everything else followed on from there. And then it was pretty much up to those people who followed me and joined the business through my referrals, were in many ways, I would imagine, replicating that and showing people, to do the same thing. I guess I didn't really, have as much contact with people, beyond the first one or two levels. Maybe some who I didn't even realize were actually in my downline were contacting me, and they were totally unknown to me. So it was kind of a strange situation to find yourself in, because you would have people that they were related to you in your business, but because you hadn't had any direct contact from them, when they contacted you, it was a surprise to you. But in terms of where I took them in the business, pretty much most of the training and the the backup to bringing them into the business was handled through Skype, and people came into the Skype rooms where they could ask questions and find out more. Another thing that I produced was a Google document which covered some of the pointers and some of the methods and important information that was necessary for people to help them understand the processes in the business itself, in terms of how it was best to actually develop their business and get it moving forward. And I think most people that I introduced into the business were able to access that and use that as a tool for themselves, and pass that on to people so that they had a direct set of documents which would explain things for them.
In that process, just an idea to give people, because I know that the forward method does work.
Yeah.
Do you have a percentage of the numbers that you paid it forward that people followed through and actually used the same method to bring people into their business, or did you take time to look at that?
I have to admit that going back, I wouldn't know exactly, what portion of people employed that method in order to introduce people into the business. I'm only assuming that, or making the assumption that people replicated it as a method. Some people were happy enough to pay their own initial payment when they joined the business and didn't feel it necessary to use the pay it forward method. But in terms of what I knew about what people were doing, I think Scott himself was well familiar with the pay it forward method. So in terms of how he conducted the business, then I'm sure that most of the people he was bringing in, and he was my top recruiter in the business, so I'd imagine that the methodology was replicated down through him.
Yeah,
But
Scott
I also
was actually my recruiter into that, and he paid it forward for me.
Yeah.
And I came screaming and kicking no, 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 and ironically, once I got in there and I saw, it took me about 2 weeks to see results, and it was not that it was because of me being procrastinating and not really following through right away. I just logged in one day and said, "Oh my God, it's making money," and I just went crazy. I was like, "Oh my God!" And I began to go to the webinars and experience the same teachings from Carl Pearson about how to recruit using other people's money or your own money. And you always want to be in a position of using other people's money by helping them do it too. But yeah, that was a good experience. I do know what you're talking about there. I'm just wondering, is that method working for you now, though? So many people are so negative into online, on anything online right now that I see. Is the pay it forward method working for you now, or are you using it now?
To be honest, since I'm not really promoting any particular programs at the moment, if I was, then I would certainly consider it. It would also depend on the cost, because obviously, if there's a high ticket to get in price, then it's prohibitive for yourself to contemplate that method. I think when the cost of getting involved with just being paid was a minimum of $10, then it was more practical from a cash flow or personal cash flow point of view, compared to a business where if it was a higher price, say $200 or $100 or more, then you're effectively putting a huge faith in not in so much in your own ability, but in the ability of those people that you introduce to follow through on it. And if those first 5 don't follow through and you don't get your money back, then you have a problem.
Yeah, I could see a high ticket item of $200.
But I think you would generally sort of decide, what the best methods for recruitment would be, and then use the preferred method. And if it was a higher price, then I think getting people to make that initial commitment gives you a little more security in terms of the person's seriousness to actually get involved, and it takes that pressure off of you. Although in all honesty, I never felt the pressure, because the positive cash flow that happened when just being paid really took off for me was, it meant there was no fear of loss. Although ultimately it eventually slowed down to the point where we know that things didn't quite work out for us.
Unfortunately, it did go that direction.
Further down the track.
Yeah, we had a good ride here for a minute, for sure.
That's for certain the risk you take in any business, and most of the businesses that I'd been looking at were of such a similar structure that knowing how they work and having done my own calculations and analysis of what the cost of actually operating the businesses were, it was a realization to me that the HYIP kind of style of programs were just, they were very much short term, and most of the ones that we know that have been around much longer than a year are quite unique, because most of them last maybe as little as 6 months or as much as 18 months, and then they disappear.
That's true. Sam, are you back? I know you wanted to share with us your experience.
I couldn't afford $20 a month with Easy Wealth Solution, but it's a pay it forward system. I like to get back into it, and right now it's everything that goes to my link is passed up to the upper line, but it's a pay it forward system too, and I actually made over $2,000 when I first got started in it, and it really did well. But the efforts that I made recently just one person signed up, and he didn't upgrade, but he got the $10 a month, but he didn't get the 47. Get $47 payments, $97 payments. I'm qualified to make those amount of payments come into my bank account. But it's a good program, but you have to maintain it with $10 a month. And I was maintaining Deborah's and mine both. And
right now, Easy Wealth Solution, has that been around for a while?
It's been around since like 2008.
Okay, so it's got some longevity to it.
Yeah, they paid out over $1.5 or $6 million.
Oh, okay. And is that like a 1-up or 2-up or something?
Well, the $97 payments is like a 2-up. Mm-hmm. My memory about forgot about it. It's been a long time. But you pay forward to the person that signs up for the $10 a month, and you pay their $47 package just by clicking. You don't actually pay the money. You just opt them in, and they have all this 100 ebooks that they have to their disposal when they do that. And then on the $97, then somewhere along the line they have to pay the $47 themselves, and then you get it or somebody gets it somewhere. you get $97 payment, and on the $97 payments, it's you have to wait for 2 sales to go through before you start making the $97 payment.
And that's at the $47 level?
The $97,
$97
two up.
level.
$97 a 2 up.
Now, do you think it has slowed up for you, that you're not seeing the revenue that you were in the beginning because maybe you're not marketing it to other people at this time, or?
Well, it's probably the marketing efforts is not the best in the world. I just mostly did it on easy hits for you.
Uh-huh.
That's about all the marketing I did. But I had the account started in 2008, and I made a couple grand, and I had the other things I had to do, and about TV report, work, and family,
Mm-hmm.
and stayed away from it like for years, but I was still able to get back in.
Right.
It kept
Now,
me.
based on the time frame that you've been in it, and you've been busy with other things, you've built relationships since then. Have you considered maybe going back and finding out where those relationships are right now and reintroducing that to them? Maybe they're ready for it right now.
Yeah, I got when I was in it, I was calling people. Like I called Stan Jakowski. He signed up under me. That's how I met Stan, by calling him. And with Easy Wealth Solution, and we got to talking about the autoresponder that we had, and so it all, that one phone call led to a long-term relationship with him, and so I could call these people. I have their phone numbers, I have their emails in the back office of Easy Wealth Solution, and I could call them, but my problem is, I've got things that's pertinent on hand, that I have to take care of right then, and about all the time I could spend would be, maybe 1 or 2 calls a day, and I have to limit my time in doing that.
Yeah, I do understand that. One of the things that, when I was listening to you talk about when you were calling, the other thing that I forgot to point out was with Google Plus, individuals that, let me share my desktop again and show you what I'm talking about. If I can find it. Okay. One of the things that you can also work with too is when you're building relationships, okay, with people in Google Plus. Let me go to people. You want to work with keywords. You want to work with the people that you're looking for are going in, especially people that you call, are looking for people that Google gives you suggestions, and their suggestions are usually based on the type of contacts you've already got. Like, these are my suggestions from Google right now. Now, I can go in this gentleman's profile right now. He's connected with someone that I'm connected to, Terry Lewis. Lim Makwana. When you're looking to see if you can call people, this is what you can do. You can go under their About part of their tab, and usually over here in this section, it'll have listed, if they filled out their whole profile, excuse you, you can get their phone number from here. Usually, if not their private number, their Google number will be in here. Another way of connecting with someone is after you add them to your circle. I'll add him to my circle just because I don't see where he's from. So let me see. Wait a minute. One thing you can find out where. Now I've been. Let me take this out a minute. Let me take this out for a minute. Show you what I'm talking about. I've been hovering over a person's name, and it'll have a pop up. Let me go back a minute. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. If you hover over someone's name, let me see if it's going to do it for me this time. Let me go over here to where The suggestions will also be over here under the little people tab. When you hover over their name, a pop-up will come, and it'll give some data on what their name is, where they're from, or whatever business they're in. And I've been putting people into my contact manager. Like this person is Mike Martin, and he's in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is where I'm from. And I have been putting them into their state's contact circle. So when this gentleman accepts my connection, what I've been doing is following up by saying, thank you for connecting with me. I see we're like-minded, and you were suggested by Google. Why don't we get in a Google party and get to know each other? Some people accept me for it, some people don't. Let me go to that circle for a minute, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. No, that's under, let me find your circles. Okay, go under your circles, and I go to the Ohio circle, and his name was Mike Martin. So you actually can do this before you get them in the circle, so you don't have to go looking for them so much. Here's Mike right here. I can actually hover over him, and at the very bottom it says Hangout. You can bring up a Hangout. It'll pop up a box just like this, and you can give them more information in regard to your connection. Now when they connect with you, what you can do is say, invite them to a party hangout. A party hangout is something that only you and the other individual is in, and you're using your cam so you can see each other, see that you're a real person. Because sometimes you can connect with some fake profiles at the same time, and usually people that are not open to connecting with me, they connect with me, but they're not open to communicating with me in a hangout. I usually don't stay friends with them, because that tells me that they probably are a fake profile. Their cam will give them away. But you don't have to use the cam in a hangout. You can use your profile picture, but you get an opportunity to actually talk to them one-on-one by just clicking the video call button. We'll put the two of you in a call of just you and that person, and you can, instead of calling them on the phone, if you don't see they have a phone number on their profile, you can actually use Google Hangouts as a Google party and communicate with them, but they have to be online. If you send them a call by clicking the cam right here, and they're not online, it'll leave a message for them in their email that you were trying to connect with them. At some point, the two of you can connect later, and you can just get to know each other that way.
I have one question I'd like to ask before I go. When you use the embed code in a Hangout, does that embed code have to be changed every time you have a Hangout on the website, or
Yes,
will it
it
stay the
does.
same? Oh, that's
Yes,
not
it
too
does.
good then. If it didn't have to be changed, it'd be really good, really good.
Now, it doesn't have to if you go back into the same Hangout. But when you go back into the same Hangout, it won't go on air, because if it's done a recording, it won't over-record that recording. And the way to find that is, let me go back to my sharing. What you can do is come over here where this little bubble with the two exclamation marks. Here's the Hangout we're in right now. This is the Hangout we're in right now. And it shows that these are the people on the panel, and up here will show all the people that were invited to it. You can go back into this Hangout, and it'll actually call the people that were invited to it originally. The only difference is it will not be on air. It will not record. So that's why the embed code changes every time you do a Google Hangout on air. You can actually set up a Hangout that you can have the same panel and the same listeners, but it will not record. After the first recording, you have to get a new embed code for a new recording, which means you have to set up a whole new event.
So will we be able to really use Tiny Chat in a better way in regards to that?
Well, the only way that you can use Tiny Chat in regard to the Google Hangouts is to get the recorded session and play it in Tiny Chat. But you can still interact with your people in Tiny Chat, even though you're playing the video. Tiny Chat allows you to connect with your Facebook friends, bring them into the recorded session that you're playing on Tiny Chat, and then you can pick up the call from the recorded session when it stops playing the recorded one. You can pick it up from there and move forward, but it won't be recorded unless you have a recorder on your desktop to pick up the I call it the after party session.
Yeah.
So like if I was to shut this Hangout down right now and you were to play the recording over in Tiny Chat, we would have an after party session inside of Tiny Chat that you could record.
Yeah, and it's Tiny Chat has the advantage of having the embed code on different websites showing the same thing.
Exactly. Now with Tiny Chat, you don't have to change the embed code because you're logging back into the same session per se that live streams, but there's no recording to it unless you third party record it.
Yeah. We
So
found that.
That's the difference between Tiny Chat and Google Hangouts.
Do you want to do some work on Tiny Chat sometime?
Yeah, in fact, we were talking about that earlier. I would love to get in Tiny Chat tomorrow and do a NetSpin Tiny Chat and invite our Facebook friends to come over and participate in what we talk about NetSpin.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, Tiny Chat is a very powerful platform to use, and because it allows you to interact, it allows you to connect and integrate so much over there. The only drawback is there's no recording to the session unless you third party record. But I've been away from Tiny Chat for a minute and getting back over in Tiny Chat tomorrow. Since I'm not have any plans for tomorrow, I think I'm going to hang out in Tiny Chat tomorrow and really pull some people in to rev up my feeder program, which is NetSpin, which is the first step I take to building relationships is blessing people with $20.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And yeah, because you were one of my referrals, and you got your card in about a week. The minute you activated and loaded, you got your 20, and when you got your 20, I got mad. And it's such a simple program. It's getting people to understand all the advantages of that program. That's what I have come into the situation of helping people understand. It's not just about a $20 bill. It's a method to help people get started in what you're already doing.
Yeah, I've got 3 people with cards ordered right now.
You see what I'm saying? That's $60 that just because you're showing them how to be referred, but there's a whole host of other things that you can share with them, like with the NetSpin, you can do safe shopping online because it has the ability to set up virtual credit cards. And I've yet to find anything that does that. It's really a blessing to have it, NetSpin, with that virtual credit card, because when you're through using that card, you just disable it, and it doesn't mess with your permanent card that you carry around in your wallet, and no one can ever use that number again because you disabled it. And I love it when I sign up for subscriptions for something and I'm testing the water. They can't keep billing me month after month. You know, a lot of places get away with an extra subscription because you might have forgot that you need to disable it within 30 days so you don't get charged again. You can disable that right after you use it. You can disable it. It goes through your regular account. They get the payment for the first month. Now you can disable it, and when it comes around to the recharge, you have a choice. This is empowering you about your choices. Maybe you didn't like what it was. Maybe it wasn't everything it said it would be. Whatever reason your reason is for not staying with it, nobody can take another month's subscription from you because you've already disabled the method of getting the payment anyway. That's powerful for you. It's safe shopping for you because, you know, so much stuff is getting hacked. If you go shopping on eBay, Amazon, wherever you go, and you use your hard copy credit card, and that system gets hacked, or maybe it's not a credible site, and they decide to bill you, double bill you, and I've heard all kind of stories. I've heard people get double billed for one purchase and all kind of stuff. That can never happen to you using the virtual card, because they can't use it again because you disabled that number, and now you still got your card that they mailed you in your wallet safe and secure, that nobody has that permanent number. If they get the permanent number, you got to reorder a new card because you've got to disable the permanent card and get a new card to keep a person from using your number. And that's what I like about NetSpend. With us coming up on holiday, I'm going to be pushing NetSpend hard because people need to know how to use the virtual card to be safe shopping online. NetSpend is a very powerful feeder program. It's a new method of managing your money and making money at the same time. And once you get the drift of how it works, it can be very lucrative for you financially. Like I said, if you sign up one person a day, if one person a day was activating their card, loading it, and getting their $20, you're getting $20 a day. Once you get rolling after about a week, if you make it your mission to find one person a day, and that might take 10 contacts to find that one that will follow through. You might get 2 or 3 follow through. But everyone that follows through blesses you with a $20 bill. Now, the key to getting them to go further with you, you've already shown them. I can show you how to get free money. If you duplicate the method of teaching them how to manage their money, they do the same thing that you do. Now they're getting multiple 20s. Now they're ready. They're financially able and ready to follow you in what you're already doing, which is your opportunity. And they can't say that they got scammed out of anything because it never cost them nothing but their time and building relationships. If you teach a person how to build a relationship properly, you're always blessing someone else, and as you bless them, you're blessing yourself. That's why I like the NetSpend program so well. I'm not talking about making you rich like all the other programs. I'm talking about making you financially secure to have cash flow flowing to you on a regular basis in what you already do. And it's using the questions that will give you the method of building relationships, because for every relationship you build is worth $20 to you. Actually, for me, every relationship I build on the first activity of 2 streams is worth $70 to me. So I can see $70 a day come to me just by doing what I do. That is if they're following through. And that's the key, is getting people to not be a victim of mass distraction, excuse me, about mass distraction is people need money now. Those individuals that need money now, this is a perfect way to get the money you need now without asking anybody to spend any money. I'm not saying it's easy, because most people don't understand the concept, even though they're living through it. Everybody gets these advertisements in the mail. Come open a bank account with us and we'll put $100 in your account. I know everybody has experienced that at some point. Or we'll put $50 in your account. Come get a bank account with us. It's the same thing with Netspend. It's all free money. Netspend's card is sold offline anywhere between $3.95 and $9.95 at any given location. Walgreens, Kroger's, Walmart's, Sam's, Target, they sell the card. But when you go in the store and buy it, you don't get no bonus. The store makes money, but you don't make no money. You still have the opportunity to have an online account and refer people through your back office, because they give each and every one of us a permanent referral link, but you don't get the bonus. So you want to work with someone that is doing the referral program so you can get the bonus starting out. The other thing that I have noticed about Netspend, if you go in a store and buy the card, they do not offer you the Premier program that comes with the card right away until you have established yourself with them, which usually takes about 90 days. If you get referred by someone that's a Netspend user, you get an offer within the first 30 days to be a Premier member. And a Premier member comes with a whole host of other things, like there's insurance attached to the card. You get the 5% savings account. They pay you 5% on the money you save. And this is the thing. I was talking to my daughter about this earlier. I said, if you referred one person a day and you transfer the $20 you get, every time you get it, you just transfer it over to your savings account. Now they gave you $20 for referring somebody, and now on that same $20, you're making 5% interest while it sits in your savings account until you need it. I said, you can turn one referral a day into $600 a month in referral bonuses and another $30 on sitting in your savings account. It's like anything else that you build. You have to build a foundation. This is a method of building a foundation of cash flow. If you never open a business, if you never start a business, you still need more money. Everybody needs more money if it's nothing but to enjoy life a lot more abundantly. If it's taking a night out with the family and someone and this pays for it, whatever it may be, if it's paying your car note or your utility bill, it is a way for you to become a little more financially stressed by just participating in the program. And people that are on a fixed income, perfect avenue for you. Because what's so beautiful about it, this is a bonus money that you don't have to count as income. It's bonus money. It's like a gift from Netspend. You don't have to declare it as income. Now, if you make a certain amount of money, and I believe it's $600, I would declare it as income, but I can show you how to zero it out because you have expenses of being online. Now you're in a business mode with the IRS. You can now write off all your activity that costs you money online because you got to declare it as income. So your web hosting and your autoresponder and all those things now, and you get to get the home office credit, so you're going to zero it out. Every dime you make is going to be zeroed out based on what the IRS already gives you. So you never have to worry about that either. But it is a bonus, and I take it as a gift. I do have to declare mine because I'm making so much with it. I'm over that $600 window. And if you're over $600 a month with Netspend, you're going to have to declare it as income because of the category that it'll fall in financially. But just imagine making money to live a lifestyle that you couldn't have done if you wasn't doing it. I would love to wake up every morning, and I do that, going to find people I can become friends with and be paid to make friends with other people. That's basically what I'm talking about. Becoming a socialpreneur and learning how to gather the information you need to have a stronger relationship with the person that you're connecting to. Now, once you show a person how to do that, they're going to follow you in something else. They're going to, if you get a good connection going there, you're going to have the opportunity to show them everything else you do. Now, whether they join you or not is another thing. But what I like is this. Once I show them how to make money with Nestspin, they don't have the opportunity to tell me I don't have the money, because I just showed you how to get the money. And if I referred you, I've already proven that it works. So usually when somebody say, well, I don't want to join, I don't have the money, they know, just like I know, that's a lie. And they really need to just be honest and in my face and say, you know, that's not for me, and I can accept that. But it's so many people just do not know how to tell the truth. Do not know how to say, you know, that just ain't me. I'm not about that. You know, it's funny. People have a problem telling the truth, and they can't handle the truth. We got both of those avenues going on in the world, and it's crazy. Well, we're at the top of the hour. I want to share with you how you can get started with what I've been talking about this evening. I'm going to come back next Friday evening, and we're going to talk more about building relationships and the different questions that need to be utilized in building relationships. Those of you were listening, let me check the question, the Q&A. Okay, there's no questions there. If you have a comment right now while we're talking, you can put your comment in to the Q&A, and I'll be more than happy to address it. I want to thank Sam and Ken for participating with me in my hangout this evening of how to build relationships and live a socialpreneur lifestyle. That is my new slogan now, how to live a socialpreneur, how to be sociable and an entrepreneur all in one by creating cash flow. I consider myself a wealth creation coach, and I got that title because I really don't want to work. I'm being honest. I don't want to work. I just want to build relationships. I want to be able to do hangouts and help people with whatever I can with what they got going on and support what they got going on. Now, Sam and I have set up several things to help you get your business off the ground. We are doing interviews of other people, and it can be a lot of fun. You are not at our mercy. We take questions from you, a list of questions from you that you want asked about you and what you do to edify you in that interview. So this is all about you. Please go to marketingtellercenter.com. Wait a minute. Have I got that right, Sam? Marketing. Wait a minute. Let me look at this. You can go to marketingtellercenter.com and opt in for the interview. Or if you want to have a video made about you and your business, we can help you get that done too through the Tiny Chat by talking to you. There's a whole host of ways that we can discuss getting you up and going in a video that you can utilize on your blog or your website or whatever. Also, we're offering coaching for personal development and growth. You can go to coaching.4stepstosuccess.com. That's coaching.4stepstosuccess.com and opt into that. Tonight, I'm going to set it up where anybody that goes there tonight can actually sign up for free, and I'm going to pay your way in. You will not have to pay. I will actually go in and upgrade you to the next level from free, and you'll get our marketing book and be a party to our hangouts that is about personal development. This is to help you get started in learning how to live a life of gratitude, become a better you in what you want to do. And for the Nestspin being referred for the NetSpend card, you can go to the number 20 $gift.com. The number 20 and the word dollar and gift.com. Or you can be referred by Sam and go to onlinebiz, the number 1.com. Onlinebiz, the number 1.com. And then I also want to remind you that Stan Chakosky Ministries is hosting an interactive Bible study on Sunday mornings, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Now, we're coming up on the weekend. I want everybody to have a blessed and enjoyable, happy weekend. If you decide that you're free Sunday morning and you'd like to participate in a Bible study, please do visit Stan's website. That's at mandateproject.tv. Mandateproject.tv. All of these links that I've talked about will be in the recorded session. So you please go and share our YouTube channel. That's Bots Advertising. Bots Advertising on YouTube. Let me see. No questions or comments. So, do Kenneth or Sam, do y'all have anything you want to share before we end this session?
No, I think I'm happy with everything that we've heard this evening, and I think it's a great platform. Unfortunately, as Deborah has explained previously, it's not something that's available to me in the UK at the present time. So perhaps at some point in the future it will come to me, and that's something I'd like to be able to get involved in it if it does.
Yeah, that would be great. I wish it was a global card. It is for the U.S. base only, only because of the international banking laws do not allow them to mail their card outside of U.S. territory. So that's something that I'm working with NetSpend on to see how they can take it globally, which would be great because I have a lot of people in the Philippines would jump on board in a heartbeat.
It seems strange because we have credit cards that we use here, which can be used internationally. So I'm not sure what is the real prevention for them to be able to offer it as a card that they can issue to overseas members.
I don't think it's not that they can't be used globally because I've used my card in Australia and in Belize.
Yeah, I wasn't meaning so much that. It's the fact that they won't issue them to people out with the U.S.
Yeah. I don't understand that either, Kenneth. It's strange.
Yeah.
Because I have a credit card that's from the UK. It's a international banking card. It's a Visa card that came from the UK. A company in the UK that works with Solid Trust. So I know that there are some companies that can mail their plastic cards globally.
Yeah.
NetSpend just not happened to be one of them, and that's unfortunate because they got such a great program that can help people, do things and get that free money. As my daughter says, if it's free, it's for me. I love her for it. But, listen, you guys, have a great weekend. I'm gonna be around tomorrow, most of the day, playing around and tiny chatting, being willing to be there and answer questions and talk to people about what they do and how they do it, and promote the things that we're doing. We have Easy Wealth Solutions and NetSpend and 4 Steps to Success to really get in front of people and show them how we really do want to help other people do things better without costing them an arm and leg to do it. So with that said, I'm going to close down tonight. You guys have a great weekend. I'm getting ready to go watch Grey's Anatomy. It's Friday night. I get to take a break and watch some movies. Okay. I'm stop the broadcast now. Everybody have a great weekend.